We continue to follow the late-breaking news on former President Trump's indictment that has been unsealed.
And it shows the former president has been charged with 37 counts of mishandling classified documents at his Mar-a-Lago estate. The documents included information on defense and weapons capabilities of both the U.S. and foreign countries, U.S. nuclear programs, potential vulnerabilities of the United States and its allies to military attack, and plans for a possible retaliation in response to a foreign attack. It also says that on 2 occasions in 2021, the former president showed classified documents to others at his New Jersey golf club, meaning the documents would have been transported there. The top charges carry a penalty of up to 20 years in prison.
Joining us now to help us understand this is Robert Gottlieb, a former prosecutor and criminal defense attorney. And Mr. Gottlieb helped us understand so many of the legal issues when he was indicted on state charges by the Manhattan DA. Here we are now again today. We're glad you're with us. Jack Smith, the special prosecutor, said everyone should read this. I know you have. Give us your first take.
Listen, everyone watching has got to realize this is very serious. This is not a situation where it's just an administrative mistake, negligence. I forgot that I had the documents in my house. That's been alleged with regard to Biden as well as Pence. That's not what this indictment says. This is an intentional, knowing obstruction of justice. Here are the charges. The charges begin with willful retention of national defense information. It's a federal crime. It brings with it a maximum term of imprisonment of 10 years. Then you have conspiracy to obstruct justice. That brings a maximum term of imprisonment of 20 years. This is the heart and soul of the entire indictment. This goes to, as alleged in the indictment, the unbelievable efforts that Trump took to avoid having to turn over boxes and boxes of classified material. This isn't classified material talking about what are we going to have as the new China in the White House. We're talking about nuclear secrets. We're talking about plans that if we are attacked, how are we going to respond? We have international allies who are part of a treaty in which they rely on this information being kept confidential so that their sources aren't in jeopardy. And the indictment details what Trump did in sharing maps of if we were invaded, this is what we would do. This is what our nuclear plans are. This is very, very serious. Okay. Most of the charges are for each of the documents, but then there are false statements, and you have all related charges of concealing a document and then inducing his own lawyers to go out there and to lie to the Department of Justice. Listen, I've been a defense attorney, a prosecutor. I've been doing this a long time. If any of my clients were charged with these crimes, for each one you can get anywhere from a maximum of 10 years to 20 years on each count. My clients would understand they are in deep trouble.
And he's changed lawyers here. What does that signal to you?
There's something going on. I don't buy for a moment that his lawyers today decided, you know what, it would be better let's get a Florida lawyer. Mm-hmm. Lawyers don't operate that way. No lawyer is going to willingly and happily give up this case. For them to resign today, something is going on where either Trump said, you guys didn't protect me, you're fired, or they said, Mr. President, we're sorry, we can't even represent you anymore. One more thing to understand. I don't care what the maximum term of imprisonment is. People have to understand that in federal court, we have a sentencing paradigm, a way that a judge is advised as to what to sentence an individual. And in this case, the sentencing guidelines, which is the recommended sentence, if Donald Trump is convicted of obstruction of justice, if he is convicted of these charges, he is facing as a recommended sentence anywhere between 21 and 27 years in prison. This is no small matter.
Very serious repercussions. Looking ahead at the hearing in Miami on Tuesday, what's that going to look like?
It's going to be bedlam. It's going to be bedlam. If you think what happened in New York City when he was brought for the arraignment, it's a federal charge. The first time in our nation that a former president has been charged. He's going to walk into a courtroom. He's going to be informed again. It's a typical arraignment. He's informed of the charges. Do you understand you have a right to a lawyer? And if you can't afford a lawyer, he'll be told you can have a lawyer appointed. How do you plead? And he'll plead not guilty, and then he'll go out and make statements attacking everybody.
Robert Gottlieb, who is a former prosecutor and criminal defense attorney, thank you. I have a feeling we're going to have to see you more as the process unfolds. We do want to point out that Mr. Trump has maintained his innocence, and after the unsealing of the indictment, he attacked special counsel Jack Smith on his Truth social media platform.